Sure you do.
Hello! Welcome to the game crashed, didn't it? The game crashed.
Welcome to Let's Stream Game Crash.
Don't worry, it's not a big deal. I'll just reopen it, and then, yeah. And Shelly, you'll have to make sure to tell me if you can see it or not. This game doesn't like tabbing when you're streaming. I've noticed that when I was
Yeah.
testing it before with XSplit just to see if it would stream very well. So, yeah. And the game also has a weird beginning load time.
Like, how weird are we talking?
It finished pretty quickly, but the first time you boot the game, it took me a minute to load the title screen.
Oh, wow.
Also, it's weird watching this game in 30 frames per second, because my XSplit limits me to 30 frames. It's annoying, it's like fraps, it limits you to whatever you're, it limits what you see to what you're recording. I don't like that. Alright, so we're playing some Romance of the Three Kingdoms 11 today.
Can't believe they made this many games.
I can't believe they didn't make more. You can create officers in this.
That's awesome.
It is awesome. And look at this reference sheet.
Ooh.
It has everything that, like, ever happened, and was it all useful? It ends in 280, and it starts in 155 CE.
Nice.
It's got the terminology, it's got everything, it's got the officer encyclopedia. Look at that shit. Name an
that's-
officer.
Wow, that's a lot of people.
Name one officer. Any officer.
Uh.
No matter how minor. South Star, I didn't even know that was a name. Hey look, there's a guy called South Star. You want 2 paragraphs on him?
Two whole paragraphs?
Yeah. Give me a name. Give me Sun Yi. Officer of Wuan, third son of Sun Jian? Sun Jian?
Xinjiang, yeah.
Sun Jian, prefect of Danyang, was a courageous warrior like his brother Sun Ce, but was also violent and whipped his soldiers when drunk. This led him to be assassinated by one of his own men at a banquet.
I remember reading about that.
You did? I'll find someone more obscure. You ever heard of? You ever heard of? Wang
It's hard to
Can?
tell.
That name's hilarious. Minister under Liu. Nah. I'm getting tongue-tied. I'm not used to saying the names out loud.
Yeah.
Under Liu. I'm not sure.
Liu Biao?
Biao. I guess that'd be right. After
That is
Liu
right.
Biao's death, he and fuck me. I've never even seen this name before.
Kuai Yue? I think?
Well, it's Kuai.
Yeah, Kuai. Kuai, I believe.
Kuai Yu. That sounds right. Suggested that Liu Zong, that they surrendered to Cao Cao. Under Cao Cao, he later earned the official title, was a skilled writer, and one of the Jian N7. I don't even know what that is!
Interesting.
But he only
I'm
has a
learning.
3 in war stat. How about,
That guy is terrible.
the
in
Wang
war.
section's huge. That's all I'm
Oh
gonna
my
say.
god, there's so many Wangs.
Yep. We have monopoly on a Wang in this call.
Oh.
See, look at this. Got Zeho doing here. Pre and
Oh, yeah.
post missing an eye. And of course, he's got some of the highest leadership and war stats in the game.
Of course.
And
just
charisma. In
boss.
fact, he's flat out one of the best in the entire game. Of, like, all of the officers. It's amazing. But you go down to his brother. Not as good. Almost as good, but not as good. And he's not fat.
It's not-
But he's got
It's
a quiver, which is
Yes.
accurate. Let's go to who's the bottom on the list. Wow, you look douchey. You know it's a unique face for every single person?
That's cool.
They didn't repeat anything. A Wu officer. When Bu Chen of Ziling surrendered to Jin in 272, he surrendered... I have no idea who the hell this guy is.
Neither do I.
Well, I want him to command my troops. Whoa!
You want the generic man to command your
Zheng
troops.
Cheng Gong. I don't know if I'd pronounce the G's there because there are two of them next to each other. I've never seen that in a Chinese name. But this is the most feminine looking guy I've seen so far.
Well, his charisma is a 93.
Holy shit, apparently he's really good.
Wow.
How about you? Actually, you look familiar. Minister of Wu. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's probably named in the games. Okay, let's click on one more random one, then we'll actually start playing the game. Han Hao. Cao Cao's officer. He formerly served Yuan Shu, but was talked into serving Cao Cao by Zhao Dun. He taught Cao Cao the importance of colonizing captured regions. Cao Cao didn't know that shit yet? Okay. I don't know how accurate that is, but I'm hoping it's not accurate. He needed to be taught that? No, just capture them and leave them be. That's the most effective strategy.
Yep.
And I can even
Best
look at
strategy
pictures of
ever.
every event that I've seen so far. Like bandits and locusts.
Like bandits and locusts.
Independence. And orders. Appointed Fallen Castle.
Ooh.
Plague.
Plague is my favorite.
Guy who looks like Liu Bei dying of the plague without facial hair.
Yep.
Why are bandits
And a
always
dog.
bald? There's always the bald bandit.
I know.
Alright. New
It's like
game.
a staple.
That's a very good looking Lu Bu there. In fact, I think his sprite was ripped directly from Dynasty Warriors 5. I'm fairly sure
It
they
kind of looks like it.
I
Totally
think they
looks like
stole
it was ripped
sprites
from like
from some of the Dynasty
5
Warrior
or
games.
4 or something.
Yeah, well, it's not 4. I've seen him in 4 and he looks a little different. He doesn't look quite as good in 4. 4 was like 2002, 2003. Okay. Now, we can pick all the actual time eras here in which this stuff happened. We have between 184 CE and 225 CE. But in 251 CE, there's a Rise of the Heroes, where it's a what-if scenario where each leader across all of the eras is given one city across China. So it's every superpower there at once to duke it out. With the major ones being like Lu Bu, Cao Cao, Sima Yi, them.
Right.
Meng Ho, for some reason, I'm fairly sure he was a bandit lord.
Yeah.
But apparently he gets top billing here.
Well, he did have a lot of land.
Not in Rise of the
Surprisingly.
Heroes.
Yeah,
how much
apparently
do you
not
have
in the Rise of
others?
the Heroes.
Well, in the last canon one, he did have a bit of land. In fact, he's one of the 2 factions who are not one of the 3 kingdoms at the time.
Well, it makes sense because the last scenario is the Nanman Rebellion. And Meng Huo was leader of the Nanman, so... That makes sense.
Okay. So from the beginning, we of course start with the Yellow Turban Rebellion,
Of course.
in which it's of course for anyone watching it who wants to be educated. Because it feels like I'm not even on stream since I don't have a laptop next to me, so I can't read the chat. Sorry, is anyone typing in the chat?
oh, just somebody asking what games he recommends for Steam. You have recommendations. Every game ever. End of story.
I started playing Company Heroes the other day, and it's pretty good. There
Yeah.
you go. There's a recommendation of a Steam game. Company Heroes, pretty good. I like it. It's a lot like Dawn of War 2. Anyways, Yellow Turban Rebellion. The main part of this, like the main, whatever you want to call it, the idea of this scenario is there's Zhang Zhao, the leader of the Yellow Turban Rebellion.
Eh.
He controls the most land of any one power in China at this point. So he's got a lot of power. He has the vast majority of peasants on his side, basically. Like, he's got a huge numbers advantage, where his armies are not particularly well trained, nor does he have great officers. It's just he has a ton of officers, he has a ton of fresh recruits, and
Yep.
depending on whether or not you turn on realism, him and some of his higher-up officers can use sorcery, because you can turn on and off realism.
Nice.
And having sorcery doesn't mean that certain skilled magicians can cast fire and lightning, which is cool and scares the shit out of people. So basically the Han are trying to unite all of the local powers that they can into one big alliance to take out the Yellow Turban Rebellion.
Right.
All of the powers that are not the Yellow Turban Rebellion at this time are part of the alliance except for, was it Ma Chao? I believe he was the only one who's not in it. And that means
Yeah,
Dong
that sounds
Zhuo
better.
was also part of the alliance. Although he
Yep.
mostly just used the alliance to try and gain power.
Exactly.
And as you can see 6 years later, Dong Zhuo's rise. This scenario is of course based with Dong Zhuo having amassed quite a bit of power since the Yellow Turban Rebellion. And this is when the other familiar faces start to really rise to prominence, like Cao Cao has his own
Yeah.
city. Yuan Shao he's got only one city right now, but many allies, and he also has a lot of skilled officers. There are a lot of different local powers here. Like, if I click on it and just look around. If I go to this, here we go. I can see, like, all different kinds of powers here. Each color is a different power. Ma Ting, that was it. So this one has a lot of variety. This one turns out very, very different every time you play. Just because, like, who takes over who and takes what land, who breaks off from who and makes their own country.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff like that. So that one is usually the most interesting if you either play Dong Zhuo or Cao Cao, but really that one is just a really fun one. I really like the early ones. Rival warlords. Having killed his father-in-law Dong Zhuo, Lu Bu. Right, this is when Lu Bu just captured a city from Liu Bei, which is adjacent to Cao Cao. So this starts in... Let's see here. I'm just going to read the synopsis of this because I'm less familiar with this scenario. Anti-hero Cao Cao seemed inevitable. The clash between them. Yes, this is when Cao Cao started to really gain power.
Right.
And Dong Zhuo was already killed by this point because Lu Bu killed him. Lu Bu's got his own city, which Lu Bu has quite a few followers, and most of his officers are incredibly skilled in combat, and Lu Bu's the most combat experienced guy in the entire game. However, they severely lack people good at, like, domestic things, so they're not very good at, like, developing infrastructure for their cities and keeping bandits under control. And they're not very good at keeping their people happy.
Yeah.
So this is mostly people uniting to take out Lu Bu, but it's not a very stable alliance. In fact, very few people are allying. It's almost entirely Cao Cao versus Lu Bu.
Yep.
So that, again, has a lot of room for craziness. Next is Clash at Guandu. That was the big battle between Cao Cao and Yuan Shao, right?
Yep.
Okay. And that's when the Sun family was starting to gain quite a bit of power. And would Liu Bei have still been with Cao Cao at that time, or would that be right after he left? I think that was right after he left, because
I think so.
didn't he come to Cao Cao and be an officer of his after Lu Bu took his land?
Yep.
Yeah, that was it. So Liu Bei would probably have left and had his own land. In fact, that might be what the green is there. It is. So
Okay,
he's
I'm
still
gonna
got
go
an
get a drink,
alliance.
so I'll be right back.
Okay. So he would still have an alliance with Cao Cao at the time. Sun Ce is finally starting to gain prominence in the northeast, or in the southeast side, and Yuan Shao is the biggest superpower at the time. And I will wait to explain the next one for when Charlie is here. By the way, for anyone watching home, she is familiar with all this stuff. In fact, probably more so than I am. I'm mostly doing this so she can understand exactly when in time these scenarios take place, and also to educate the chat, and to refresh myself, because my memory is not great for this stuff.
I'm back.
Yay!
Yay!
Okay, everything else left off. Cao Cao, of course, in 207 AD, CE,
Right.
whatever.
Whatever terminology they used.
Alright, Cao Cao won over Yuan Shao, of course, and took over all of that northern area. Liu Bei fled south and got his own one city, unfortunately almost completely surrounded by Cao Cao, but he has an ally to the south in Liu Biao?
Liu Biao. Yeah.
Liu Biao. There we go. Sun Quan is still to the east.
Yeah,
and
it was
they
just...
are not on good terms with either of them.
I believe it was sometime just after Sun Ce died.
Yes. This... Let me,
Can't remember exactly what year he died, but...
Oh, no. He died sometime between 207 and 211, it says.
Yeah.
Okay. So, the Sun family is to the east. Cao Cao is the most powerful thing in China, of course, taking up almost half of China.
Yeah.
Next is, a few years later, when Liu Bei does have a bit of land. Mah-Dry-Bread has
It was
a bit
after
more
he had gotten the service of Zhuge Liang.
and Pang Tong.
Yeah.
Because that was the main thing that pulled him into power during here, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then this would be after Sun Ce has died.
Yeah.
Which would mean that here, the last one would be when it's officially the Three Kingdoms. And when Liu Bei and Cao Cao would both probably be dead. In fact, I think Cao Cao is definitely dead.
Yeah, it mentions Liu Bei's death.
Yeah, they're both dead. Yes. And Sun Quan would still be alive.
It's when Zhuge Liang took over as spiritual successor and decided to wipe out the Nanman.
Yes.
Yep.
And then, of course, last is Rise of Heroes, which is a mix bag of every single major leader. Also,
Everything everywhere.
the hell? In every age but Yellow Turban Rebellion, there's this, like, mauve-colored one province in the top right. Who is that? Who are you?
Who are you? Who are you, sir? Oh, Gongsung.
Who is he? Hold on, is it the same guy?
I know
through all of this?
Gongsung-san, but I don't know.
Oh. Yes. And then, who is it back here? Okay, when did he die?
Yeah, when did he die?
I don't know that one either, but he's got a nice mustache.
He does have pretty good.
What is this place? Why have I never heard of it? Is it because it's off in the middle of fuck nowhere?
They're like, oh, we don't need it.
Okay. What could he ever do? Look how fucked he is right now.
Yeah,
is
it
he
mentions
allies with
this
Cao
territory
Cao?
being surrounded by Cao Cao's forces and that his relationship is friendly enough for them not to invade him.
Like, look at the difficulty stars on this. How do I... First, since your relationship with her is friendly and realize not to go against them in the beginning, work on your domestic affairs. New personnel, see what happens. The other forces, you want to build up your forces. You can quickly claim Beiping. Oh, so to attack? Okay, that's ballsy.
Let's go attack Cao Pi, yeah. Great idea.
I can take on Wei.
You could take on the son of the mighty Cao Cao, sure.
This dude only has 6 officers, I'll have you know. At this point, 6 officers. That is enough to run one city optimally. And even then, I'd like to have more. 6 officers, and that's including himself.
You should just take over one of the white spaces.
Yeah.
Make your own army.
You know, why didn't Cao Cao take over this place?
I don't know.
It's kind of like during the Yellow Turban Rebellion. Like, look how much is unclaimed. If I were your Yellow Turban Rebellion, I have a ton of officers, I'd start expanding south.
Yeah.
Anyways. So we need to figure out where we want to start playing.
We need to make an entire team full of Wangs.
Of course. Well, that's about half the officers in the game.
Exactly.
What was it? Wang?
Perfect.
Was it Wang Ping who was?
Wang
He was in
Ping,
charge of those. What was it he did? He did he had a big role on Shu's side, didn't he? I think he was with Shu, and he was big in some of the battles against Wei. But not big enough to get a unique character model in like any game.
Yeah, pretty much.
I think he did like a rock slide or some shit. He was a decent commander that showed up in a lot of fights. Anyways, let's figure out what era we want to be in. So to go over it again real quick, we got Yellow Turban Rebellion, we got Dong Zhuo's Rise, the Rival Warlords, which would be Lu Bu and Cao Cao,
Yeah.
Clash at Guandu, which would be Cao Cao versus Yuan Shao, Shu.
Shao, you got it
Shao.
right.
Shao? Shao.
Yes.
I haven't heard it in forever. Then we have Cao Cao trying to hunt down Liu Bei, who is fleeing south. And then we have Liu Bei in Shu, which is the first kind of formation of the Three Kingdoms, but not exactly. And then we have straight up Three Kingdoms and the Rebellion in the far south. And
I
then
want
we
to
have
say
Rise of
whichever
Heroes.
campaign yields the most random.
Well, the straight up most
Cause,
random shit would be Rise of Heroes without a doubt, because every person has one city, and it's like some people who were not even alive at the same time would be there. And another really, really random one would be Rival Warlords, because no person really has any particular power at the time. And almost right away there's a war between Lu Bu and Cao Cao, which, depending on who wins, could vastly shape China.
Mm-hmm.
So I think those are the two most interesting ones. And of course, Lu Bu is in both of them, and Lu Bu is amazing.
Excellent.
He actually is like the owner of his own cities in both of them. He's in Dong Zhuo's Rise as part of Dong Zhuo's army, and he's in Yellow Turban Rebellion. He's with He Jin, because that was his first adoptive father, I believe. So he would have been with them. And Dong Zhuo, in this scenario, actually does have red hair to bribe him with.
Ah.
Yeah, it's the best movement bonus in the game, I believe, is red hair, which is a cool little bonus. Alright, so you said the most random one. Do we want to do Rival Warlords or Rise of Heroes?
I want to say Rise of Heroes only because you don't have to worry about either Cao Cao taking out Lu Bu or Lu Bu taking out Cao Cao right at the beginning of the game.
Well, we can always pick to be one of them. You can pick to be any team in any scenario.
We need to make our own team.
I don't know if you can make your own team, but you can make your own officers.
You should be able to make your own team
Actually,
with all the
technically you
white
could.
spots.
Yeah, you could actually make your own team. Just insert as many created officers as you want, pick a team, and then exile everyone else and appoint your guys as the new rulers. Because you can reappoint people whenever you want. Although those exiled people will probably not be very happy, and may end up joining other armies or even making their own rebel factions. Like, it's cool the depth. You have, like, new forces will spawn sometimes, not because, like, the game decided to spawn it. It's because, like, if people are not... If a very unloyal officer maybe is getting very discontent with his ruler that he doesn't like, he might actually run away with some other officers and make their own place.
Nice.
And it's very cool, and then they'll, like, war back and forth. I've seen places, like, rebellions actually take over their originals before. So... there's a lot of craziness in this game. I love it. So, Rise of Heroes or Rival Warlords?
I'd say Rise of Heroes. It's way more colorful.
Okay, it is very colorful. And we'll just go with the actual historical heroes and whatevers. The Mauve guys aren't here. Or is these... No, that's the Mauve guys, okay.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
Yeah, he's right there.
It's hard to tell, it's kind of grayish.
The Mauve guys.
Okay, it's gonna be hard to decide who we want to be.
Be the Mauve guys.
Cao Cao has the lowest difficulty, of course, because he has 48 officers. Some of them are like the best in the game. Lu Bu's got 3 stars. He's only got 13 officers, but very militaristic ones. Got beard guy.
Beard guy.
Zhang Jiao, who was probably going to have a war
Zhang.
with Cao Cao very early on because they're two very close places. Also, he's got 20 officers, and they can use sorcery. Actually, cool thing about Yellow Turban Rebellion in this game, they actually have like special modifiers where they can't do anything bureaucratic, but they can support. But their officers can support more troops than their leadership would normally give them.
Very cool.
So it's very cool, yes. Also, is the chat saying anything?
Yeah, beard guy.
Wait, what'd they say?
Be a beard guy.
Ah. Well, I'm happy they're talking. How many people are actually in the chat right now?
I'm gonna click a button and check. Like 5 of them.
Dude, this guy looks evil.
That guy does look evil.
Who is he?
Zhang Hui? Oh my god, he's a playable character in Dynasty Warriors 7.
Really? Is he in any of
Yeah,
the previous
he
ones?
was part he was part of Wei and then transferred over when Jin formed. So he's actually part of the Jin campaign, and the guy's like an asshole. Like
he
he
looks
tried
like an
to
asshole.
he tried to usurp power and everything. It was crazy.
He's got 8 officers, so fairly high difficulty.
He's also like my favorite character to play.
He looks like he's fun. Your territory is Zitong, although you have a good balance of officers. They're all rather minor overall. There, you must quickly obtain more officers skilled in martial affairs. Zhang Lu is a danger to you. Wiki wiki. Have improved defense. Analyze situation. So apparently there are a lot of hostile people around.
Yeah.
Hostility breaks out fucking fast here. Okay, so Mauve guy. You have 8 officers. A single city, of course. Really equal to the other relations power. Okay, everyone's roughly equal. Unless you're like Cao Cao.
Yep.
Mostly warriors centered around the Gongsun family, and their quantity and quality are low. Nice. You're cornered. You might want to build up your forces quickly while standing up to his attacks. As soon as they fight, you will want to attack. So this guy's probably going to go to war with us. He does have more officers than us.
Yes.
I want to look around. Ooh, this guy's got 5 officers. That's horrible. Who would have been the first leader of Jin? This guy has 5 officers. Yeah, they both have 5. This guy is the guy that Lu Bu used to be with.
I think officially it would have been Sima Yi.
Oh, and this guy also has 5. Oh, this guy's in a bad spot. 5 officers, and he's between,
That guy's so screwed.
He's between, Zhang
He is
Zhao
a
and
stepping
Sensei.
stone.
Yeah. You're roughly equal to the other forces in the area as far as power. Bullshit. You have
You
few
can see the worried
officers.
expression on that guy's face, too.
He looks like he knows he's fucked. He looks
He
worried and
knows.
depressed.
Yeah.
They are
He's like, oh, my life's over.
God, I love this game. However, you're surrounded by strong enemies like Cao Cao, so trying to fight a straight-out battle will certainly result in your defeat. No shit. You may want to consider abandoning Chen Liu, crossing the harbor and taking over Han Fu's territory in Yi. Who is Han Fu? This guy. You have double my officers. I don't know if I want to take you over, but you do look like a dork. Your number of gifted civil servants under your command, although you're a disadvantage when it comes to combat. Okay, so you're good economy.
Yeah.
Keep an eye on movements. I don't know if I want to pick this guy just because look at how lame he looks. Do I really want
It's
that
like
to be my
such a
leader?
sissy.
Because you're essentially playing as whoever your leader is until he dies and, you get a new one.
That's why I wish we could click on one of the white places and just put our own leader in there.
I know.
It'd be like, Xiahou Dun, yes please, click.
Yeah, Zhao Dun's no doubt with Cao Cao, though. Which
Of
is one
course.
of the many reasons why Cao Cao is the best leader to start as here.
Oh yeah.
Like, the amount of quality officers he has. He has 48 officers there. I could take over and successfully run maybe 10 cities off that without them being with only a few of them being particularly weak. 10 cities could be easily run by that. Amazing. Dong Zhuo's got 11. Who's got the least? I want to find the least. So far, 5 is the least officers. 4! Wow! You look pretty cocky for 4 officers. I don't know.
Oh, young Kai.
Your officers are low in both quantity and quality. You have only warriors in your service. Even they are of second string quality. You have no chance of victory if you use conventional tactics. Whoa!
Well, well, well.
He may be the weakest, and he's next to a pretty... 3 officers. That's barely enough to run a city.
Holy crap.
Your officers are inferior in both quality and quantity, and the more time passes, the worse your situation will become. You have no chance of victory if you proceed in conventional manner. Your best hope for survival is to ally with Liu Bei. Yep.
I would say so.
Well, Liu Bei is a good person to side with. This guy's got 4. 4... 3. Wow, these southern ones are weak as shit. Yeah, Liu Bei's got 39 officers. He's got, like, really good ones, so...
Chat says Liu Du is the best jobber.
Apparently.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, these are the jobbers. We're going down to the Midwest here.
Wow.
Literally. Your best hope for survival, side with Liu Bei. Yeah, Liu Bei's an easy guy to side with, because he can never say no to an ally.
Exactly. He couldn't say no when Lu Bu was all like, let me join you. He's like, okay.
Yep.
And then he got betrayed.
How many people has Lu Bu betrayed? Hasn't he killed his last, like, 3 adoptive fathers?
Yeah.
Why'd he even kill Dong Zhuo again? Wasn't it Xiao Chun told him to?
Yeah,
And
Liu Bei
his
is the sole reason I can't stand Shu.
I love Shu, except Liu Bei. You can't hate him.
You can't hate him, but you
God,
sit there
he's
face
gullible.
palming at everything he does.
He makes bad decisions. He's that guy who's way too nice to hate, but fuck, he should not be in charge.
And then you bring his son into it, and his son is no better.
Wow. Actually, the Sun family has the most officers of any starting force. 51. Although I don't know how many of them are quite as good as Cao Cao's officers, but it's
Holy
still
crap.
it's gotta be one of the best. 51 officers.
Oh my god. Well, yeah. Sun Jian.
Well, it makes sense to me because the Wei did have a shit ton of officers.
Oh yeah.
And they dropped like flies.
Poor
I mean,
Wu.
look at the Sun family. They died like every month.
Sun family, you will always be my favorite, but you're kind of expendable.
Yuan Shu even looks evil.
I know he
Wasn't
does.
he a real conniving bastard?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Number of officers, but their quality leaves something to be desired. Yeah. Wasn't he the one who was like abusing the Imperial Seal?
Yep.
Yeah, he was.
Guy's an ass.
This guy looks darky. But he's
Well,
got
he is
6
part of the
officers.
Liu family.
Well, yeah.
Guy looks like a monkey.
2 officers. 2 officers.
Oh, wow.
You.
He's screwed.
Oh my god. Your only officer is your brother, and you are among the weakest of the forces in China. You are not suited for diplomacy, tactics, or domestic policy, so unless you do something unusual, you have no hope of winning. Try to avoid combat. Try and keep Liu Yong in check while working to absorb Wang Lang. Where's Wang Lang? Wang Lang is south with 6 officers. Triple what we have. So,
That guy's
let's
so
call for a
screwed.
vote. Are we this guy? Pissed off guy and his brother with...
I retract my statement. Yan Biao is best chopper.
Can we please be him?
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Alright.
Let's do it. Let's be 2 officer guy.
Okay, beginner, advanced, beginner. Advanced is fucking brutal.
Chat agrees.
Actually, advanced is pretty much just they cheat. They have, like, huge growth. Battle deaths. Normal. I want it to be normal frequency of an officer dying after losing a fight. Sorcery and lightning. Enabled or disabled? I think enabled would be very interesting. It would give the Yellow Turban Rebellion a whole new dynamic. I think also sorcery can be used by Zhuge Liang.
Nice.
So anyone who historically, like, the records say they use sorcery, any of those people, yeah, because even, like, the original records of the Three Kingdoms, they do often talk about sorcery. A lot of Chinese history talks about sorcery. Female officers, historical or events? What's the difference? Historical. Females such as Diao Chan
Will appear.
Oh god, names. They'll appear as officers.
Officers. Okay.
Okay, yeah, I'll
I have
have
no
that.
problem with that.
Because hey, the more officers, the better. I need officers. Oh, this will be so much fun just trying to survive. Well, lifespan has to be fictional because this is a fictional scenario.
Exactly.
Can historical? Yeah, let's have all of the relationships
Everybody's
between
related.
people be historic.
Yeah. Have it all be proper.
What? You mean that, was it, I put on fictional, all of a sudden, for some reason,
Yeah, it sounds like
Zhao
married
Dun and
to-
Zhao Yan are, like, not brothers.
Not brothers
No,
anymore.
they're completely unrelated.
Exactly.
Sima Yi and his billion sons? It's a coincidence. Man, apparently Sima Yi got around. How many kids did he have?
A lot.
Didn't he have, like, 4 kids?
Yeah.
And they were all conniving bastards just like him? I love Sima Yi.
He had one kid who was just like, dude, I don't even want to be a leader. This is stupid.
They were...
He had that one kid. The
Yeah.
rest of his kids were overachieving, conniving bastards. He had that one kid who's like, I don't want to do this. This is stupid.
I like to think that's how he put it. In English.
Exactly. He had...
And then they tried to exorcise him for making, like, demons speak.
Exactly.
Oh, God. But, yeah, Sima Yi is one of my favorite guys in, like, all of the history, because, like, he fights fucking dirty. He's a genius. I love him. That's one thing I love
That
about Wu,
asshole.
actually. Like, I'm not huge on Wu, but I love how they're not afraid of fighting dirty. They fought fucking dirty. How many times did they fake surrender or set fire to people's, like, food camps?
Yeah.
They did a lot of shit like that.
They used a lot of fire.
Apparently, like, hire Zhuge Liang to do fucking sorcery for them.
Yeah. They're basically like, hey, can you set up this attack?
Yeah. They would not have...
It's like, why?
Yeah.
We could just let you sit here and get overrun by Wei's navy.
Yeah.
But we won't, because we're way too nice.
Yeah. And then they went and, like, killed Guan Yu.
Yep.
And that kind of pissed him off.
Mm-hmm.
In the end, that probably wasn't a good idea. Then again, Guan Yu's awesome. And I would not be surprised at all if he could have defeated all of their armies single-handedly. Because according to the Dynasty Warrior games, he's like 7'7".
Yeah.
Have you seen him in the 6th game? I don't know how tall he is in the 7th game, but in the 6th game, he's like the big show standing on the Kali's shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, let's, I think we're ready. Let's
Be
get
the
this
biggest
shit
jobber
going.
in all the Three Kingdoms.
Oh yeah. I think we're close to Lu Bu, too.
Oh dear God, we're doomed!
Yeah.
The world was in chaos as a group of heroes vied for power.
I don't know if the world was in chaos. I think it was just
Cao Cao,
China.
the anti-hero. Liu Bei, who vowed to restore the Han Empire to its former glory. 3 generations, all fighting for power.
No, it was a
Sun
world.
Jin, Sun Tzu, Sun Quan. Zhang Jiao, who envisioned a world ruled by the Yellow Turbans. Dong Zhuo,
Oh, this
the
is a
evil
cool intro.
tyrant. Lu Bu, the greatest warrior in all of China.
Oh no, there's an intro?
Yuan Shao and Yuan Shu. Gong Sun Zan and his White Riders. Rival warlords.
Because for
Liu
some
Yao
reason,
and Yu
your stream will not capture it.
Oh, that's nice. Can you hear it at least?
and many brave officers, retainers, commanders, and beautiful women.
Nope.
Well,
Oh gosh.
sorry guys.
Way to go, game.
These
Changing
stars
video
who
format
shone
so it
so
doesn't
brightly in
I'm
an age
watching
of
it.
show.
chaos and darkness,
You're watching it. Give us the play-by-play.
chance to shine.
It's a picture of a map, and they're talking about all the important officers, and they didn't bring us up yet.
As the curtain rises
That's because we're
on this,
royally
the
screwed.
final battle.
I think we're the weakest in the entire game. I couldn't find one any worse than ours. We're in the worst situation. We picked the hardest team in the game. The game crashed. All right, let's try
Game.
this again.
Game couldn't handle the awesomeness.
Yep. Let me boot it back up.
It's like you got balls, kids.
I've never had it crash by playing that.
Wow.
I think the computer was just trying to get me to abort. I've never had a game
You don't
crash
want to do
before.
this, man. You don't want to do this abort mission.
Okay,
Yes, we
Rise of
do.
Heroes, guy who screwed, confirm.
Oh yeah.
You can see right now, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Is
And
it
you're
gonna
so
crash every time? Okay. Let me pick a scenario I know for sure works, just to see if it's because I'm streaming that it crashed. Because if so, I'll just bring the stream down for a minute and then bring it back up.
Aha. That is clever.
Any second now. Okay. Yeah. Whoop, no, wrong one. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
It was
No, it's gonna crash every time because I'm streaming. Okay. I have a solution. I'm gonna bring the stream down. Don't go anywhere. I'll be back in like a minute or two. And if you're watching this in the playlist or something, then it'll be the next video.